CardGamesTV1 Podcast. Card games in general aren't expensive, especially not Yu-Gi-Oh, which is why I'm even saying this, because I keep seeing lately a lot of people complaining about Yu-Gi-Oh being too expensive. So that's why a lot of people are leaving the game, because it's too expensive. The way the products are being brought out is in such a way that, well, essentially, you can't get what you want to get for the amount you want to pay for. So it's a whole bunch of broke people complaining that they can't get can't get a Lamborghini, essentially, right? Can't get the good stuff, can't get what everybody else who can get. So you're just complaining that other people are getting stuff and you can't get those things that they get. You're mad that you can't do what everybody else is doing. So while everybody else is playing, I don't know, Terra Elements or some meta deck, you're mad because you can't afford to do the same thing. Even though you're not supposed to and you don't need to. Like, the whole idea is, especially the most basic way the game works, the way it was designed is you buy packs, you definitely buy starter decks, right, to get you started, right? They're structured decks, they're pre-built strategies, and you can always improve them, and that's why you get packs to pull cards to try to improve, and then you trade, because this is a trading card game. All these card games, physical card games, are trading card games, so you're supposed to trade cards to get the cards you need, so you can have the play set of what you need for your deck, and then play. If you can't afford, that's the thing, if you can't afford a card, you trade for it, you know? And then you play the game. But if you can't get it, like, let's say you can't get the card at all, you can't trade for it, you can't buy it, then you don't need it. You can live the rest of your life, you can play this game or any card game without that card or those cards. You don't need those cards to play the actual games at all. You want the cards. There's a difference between needing and wanting. You want the cards because you want to be able to do something. But in reality, if a lot of y'all are not playing competitively, you're not going to tournaments and stuff, y'all don't make content, if y'all don't make money from this hobby, from these card games, then you shouldn't be putting up a lot of money to buy cards and try to play certain types of decks. Play what you can afford, obviously. Play for fun. But another thing you can do, little tip here, basic advice, if you have a friend group, a play group that you play with, right? Play at locals and whatnot, there's such thing as called proxying. Printers exist. You can print out images of the cards, slide it into your sleeves of your deck, and play for fun, because it is just that. It's a game for fun. You don't have to actually buy and own the actual physical card to play a card game. You just need something that represents the card, which a picture of the card is enough. You can proxy the cards and then play with them and have fun with your friends, if that's all you're really doing. Now, if you're going to tournaments and stuff, of course, you're going to need the official card. But again, you don't need these cards. You can play the game without these cards. You could play something else. And the funny thing is, the most common thing that wins tournaments, the best deck in every format that has ever existed in every card game that allows you to have a side deck has always been the side deck. Apparently, I just found out that Pokemon doesn't have side deck. I don't use side decks at all. So to me, every card game doesn't have side deck. So the best deck is my deck, right? My main deck. But realistically, the way these card games are, the fact that you have a side deck, the best deck in the format is your side deck. People win more often, win about 99% of their matches because of their side deck, not because of their main deck. So your main deck doesn't even effing matter. You can literally buy 3, Blue Eye structure deck or something. As long as your side deck and your main deck has some good basic staples, you're good to go. And that's the thing, a lot of y'all decks are like 90% hand traps. 90% hand traps, 10% an engine that you bought. Oh, I need this little fire engine with the bonfire. I need that engine. But it's like over $300 for that engine. It's like, but you don't need it though. You could just use any cheap ass engine and your hand traps. Like, that's the ridiculousness. And the fact that a lot of the hand traps have been reprinted so they're cheaper, easier to get. It'd be easy for you to have your hand trap deck slash artillery elements or slash murmur lanterns slash whatever decks are out there that y'all playing. I'm not even paying attention to what y'all playing, because to me it's all the same shit, just different skin. Same card, same game, same outcome, trying to put multiple negates on the board, and I'm still just gonna sphere mode it or kaiju it or lava golem, or you probably put up stuff that negates monster effects only, so I could just Regeki that damn thing and just play and beat you anyway all day, every day, like I've been doing for the past 20 plus years. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because nobody is doing anything really new or innovative. The only quote-unquote new thing is when y'all started copying off of me and started doing the unbreakable board thing, trying to put up multiple negates and make it where your opponent can't play the game. It's like, alright, cool, that's one thing y'all finally did when y'all were playing terrible before. Now y'all starting to play something good, but then it's like that's getting outdated. These unbreakable boards are no longer unbreakable, they're totally breakable. All my decks are designed to break every board and OTK you with a 2-card combo, which are not weak to Ash, Ghost Ogre, you know, the hand traps, right? You know, what is it, Nibiru and all that stuff. Like, y'all the ones that lose to that crap. I don't. Those hand traps never work against me. Only one rare occasion I'll say Ash Blossom, because maybe I might play a search card or something, or a card that searches and Ash Blossom stops it. It's like, alright, cool, you stopped me from searching. I then need to search it in any way. I can go off regardless. You know, besides your side deck being your best deck, of course, your extra deck. And I've always been playing with an extra deck when it used to be called a fusion deck, because I used to play Metamorphosis, Magical Scientist, you know, back in the good old days. You know, I still use, you know, my extra deck as they call it now. So my best deck, or anyone's best deck, is their extra deck and their side deck, because these are cards you always have access to. You can always, that's the funny thing, is a lot of y'all decks is just to help you bring out stuff from your extra deck, and that's it. You're literally playing the same way I play. I play like this less, because now I'm leaning into main deck, so now I'm getting away from summoning a lot of stuff from my extra deck and just focusing on putting really good stuff in my main deck that wins me games outright. Just boom. Oh, you summon a big strong monster? Oh, that's cool, that's cool. Oh, that one, oh, you summon that, and that has a negate effect? Alright, that's cool. Kaiju, summon my monster, attack, you lose. GG. Simple as that. Right now I'm playing Kaiju Time Lords. So I don't care what the meta is, it's going to lose. And it has been losing. That's why I hear people complain about certain decks like, oh, Tier Elements or some, you know, meta deck being the best deck in the format. And it's like, really? That deck? But I beat that deck like 5 times already this weekend. What the hell are you talking about? That deck, it's not that strong. It doesn't do much. Runic is like the new thing. Bestial Runics. I played against that, beat that. Easy. The deck barely does anything to me, like any of these decks. Because the thing is all the decks are trying to do the same thing. Y'all trying to summon the same monsters. You know, there was a time where everybody was summoning, Dragoon, the Dark Magician fusion. Is like, okay, you bring that thing out and it negates. Cool, it can't be targeted. Cool, that's actually, you know, a bit of a problem, because I wanted to be able to target it. But that's cool, don't care. Kaiju. Keep it moving. Move on to the next, you know, card I'm gonna play to win the turn, because, you know, you didn't put no defense. You were relying on that one card to protect you, and it got kaiju'd, and now you're defenseless, and now you lose. Because I actually have a strategy for winning the game. You have a strategy to try to stop me from playing the game. See how stupid that is? So that's the problem. It's not the cards. It's not Konami. It's not the price of the game. No, it's y'all. Y'all the problem. Y'all mindset is the problem. Chasing shiny cards. I literally saw somebody complaining about that. Konami needs to make lower rarity versions of the cards that they're that they're bringing out, so that way the cards can be accessible, just like how they do in Japan. Have a common version of a card, and then have a quarter century version of it, and it's like, but then complain that it's like he wants the quarter century, and it's like, see, well, there's the problem though. You're talking about you want a lower rarity version of the card, but you don't want the lower rarity version. You want the quarter century version, which is not going to be cheap. That's the funny thing. You're talking about that there should be a cheap version of the card, and the irony is there are cheap versions. Not every card that's quarter century does not have a lower rarity version. There's tons of cards that have lower rarity versions of the quarter century. There's tons of quarter century cards that have common versions. I saw a quarter century pot of greed. There's tons of common pot of greeds in this game. So it's like ridiculous to be like, oh, we need lower rarities of these high rarity cards. It's like, but there is. And that's what reprints are. They're supposed to typically be lower rarity or the same rarity but cheaper because they printed so many more. They're like, oh damn, people really, really like that card, and they're complaining that there's not enough copies in the world. So let's make more copies, and that's it. And that's the point. That's why it's called reprint. They reprint these cards. They print more because there's a demand for it, supply and demand. And if y'all keep demanding stuff, you'll get the stuff that you demand for, right? That's the thing. Konami only does what y'all cry about. When it comes to money, when y'all cry that y'all want to buy certain things, y'all want things to be accessible, then they make it. That's the funny thing. The game, when it comes to the products that come out, it's based off of y'all whining, y'all crying, y'all complaining about how y'all want things. Y'all keep complaining about what y'all want, so Konami tries to give it to you. Oh, y'all really want shiny cards, y'all really like secret rares and all these different types of rarities, and y'all want boxes to have more rarities, like more shiny cards, less bulk. All right, let's put more shiny cards. Let's start making sets where all the cards are hollow, all shiny, to make y'all happy, and then y'all bitch and complain. That's the problem. The problem isn't Konami, because Konami gives you what y'all want. The problem is y'all got to keep bitching about getting what y'all asked for, critiquing it a lot of times, like, oh, this is not what we want. A lot of y'all complain enough to get it, so it definitely is what y'all want. Might not be you as an individual person is not what you wanted, but a lot of other people who wanted that. Sometimes they even do a poll where they'll be like, hey, what would you be interested in reprinting? These are the 3 cards that you can vote on, and people vote, and whoever wins, the card gets reprinted, right? But then you have people still complain like, no, I wanted the other card. I didn't want that card. Complain. It's like, even when you get an option to choose, or the community gets an option to choose a card to get reprinted, it skews, a large majority of people tend to lean towards one direction, which proves that the market, the game, is largely influenced by that majority. The majority of people who want things a certain way, and they get their way, right? The majority rules. The minority don't. And a lot of y'all tend to be in the minority, complaining that, oh man, these cards are too expensive. I can't afford this, that, and the third. It's like, well, you can't afford it, you don't get to play it. You're not entitled to it. You're not born to own these things. All this stuff is luxury. It's just a game. You're not entitled to it. You can live your life without this game. The idea of playing it is that you like the actual game. Not that you like specific cards or specific combos. No, that you actually like the game, so you'll play any deck and enjoy it. Yes, the goal is to win, which is why you should get good at the game and win with whatever you're playing. Cloudians. Let's say you're playing Cloudians. Make a meta, relevant Cloudian deck, right? A deck that can beat meta decks with Cloudians. Instead of complaining that, oh man, I want to play meta. I don't want to play anything. I want to play meta. Well, if you want to play meta, you got to play meta prices. You can't be out here complaining that you need a car to be able to travel, but complain that you can't get a Lamborghini because you don't got Lamborghini money. It's like, well, you don't got Lamborghini money, you don't get a Lamborghini. So get a bus pass, or go get a Honda Civic or something. Get what you can afford. No, man, I really want a Lamborghini. Okay, cool, you want it, but you don't deserve it. Because if you did, you would have the money for it and get your Lamborghini and be happy. But you can't afford it, so you don't deserve it. And that's the thing. There's the entitlement. And then what's crazy is that a lot of these people are old. A lot of y'all too old. A lot of y'all in your 20s and 30s and shit, complaining about how expensive shit is. It's supposed to be expensive because it's what people want. So of course it's gonna be expensive. You know what's cheap? The things people don't want. That's the irony. But the funny thing for me, which is also ironic, is that the cheapest things tend to be the best things anyway. And that's part of the problem. Y'all think because something costs more that it is better, therefore you want it to be cheaper so you can get it because you think it's better. But in reality, it's not better. It's good. You know, I mean, obviously it has to be good enough for it to have that big price tag, but realistically, it ain't necessary. The fact that I'm hearing that there's expensive, like bonfire is expensive, but all it does is that, like, it searches out a fire monster. It's like, it searches out a pyro. That's it. That's all it does. Well, that's just a search card. And then here's the extra funny thing, right? What it searches is a 1-star. That's what people want to do. They want to use it to search out a 1-star. And here's the funny thing. Then the 1-star, by its effect, will special summon. But it's a 1-star. It's a 1-star pyro. You can use the spell card 1-for-1 and get it out on the field if you really need a 1-star pyro monster on the field to get your wombo combo off. Granted, 1-for-1 is a one of, so it's better to have that one of than not, right? And I'm trying to think. There's another card. There's actually a card that I think I'll make a video about that, about like alternatives to the bonfire, because it's kind of ridiculous. Granted, you gotta do a little extra step because there's a card in my mind I'm thinking that will let you banish that little 1-star, right? And then you can bring it back through a card effect. You know, like DDR or something. So there's like a 2-spell card combo that can you know, let you go off and do that little combo that you want without the bonfire. I know, yeah, bonfire would be better because I could play it, but here's the funny thing about the bonfire. Bonfire could be Ash, and Ash right now has a $20 common or less than that. The point is there's common Ash. Most people play Ash, so bonfire is a ridiculous card to even want because it could be Ash. I don't like cards that can be ashed. I like cards that hand traps are useless against. So I wouldn't want bonfire when it could be Ash Blossom. Any card that can be Ash Blossom, I'm not a big fan of. Because at any given moment, your opponent can randomly have that Ash Blossom. It's like, damn, I really need this effect to go off. And that Ash Blossom popped up and is actually stopping me or slowing me down or whatever, right? So you rather play stuff that can't be Ash, right? Like, for example, you can, like, Foolish Burial the 1-star and then play Monster Reborn and bring it back onto the field if you need to. Let's see. It's funny, you can... Is it face down? Face up. I think it's face up. You can play Ghost Sarcophagus. Granted, you can only play one Ghost Sarcophagus, but that's the thing. That's the funny thing. You can play Ghost Sarcophagus to banish it and then use DDR, or you can use that other Pyro card that I'm thinking of, that lets you banish a Pyro monster to deal your opponent some damage based off its level, right? Or attack, whatever, and then bring it back with DDR. Like, there are ways to get the 1-star. Like, if you really need that 1-star to do a wombo combo, there are alternatives. That's what I'm saying. But y'all obsessed with that idea, now I gotta do bonfire because I saw videos that people made with that specific spell card, so I got to have it. It's like, but you don't. What you got to have is the little 1-star to do the combo and all the other cards that go with it. You don't need the card that searches out the card that you need to even do the combo. You can use any other card to get that card to do the combo. But anyway, I digress. Point is that the game is not expensive. It's not difficult, right? It's not expensive is what I'm saying. It's like the game is not expensive. It's not difficult, yes, to play the game, because y'all make the game more complicated than it really is. It's simple, straightforward. Y'all should be trying to find easy, straightforward win cons that are easy to perform, it's easy to do. Because when I play, I'm swinging at my opponent with a 9,000 attacker. Guess how I do that? Guess how I attack my opponent for 9,000? Right? Guess how I make it where I can deal my opponent, let's see, mathematically 10,600, something like that. 10,600 damage with 2 cards. 2 cards. Technically 3 cards. 3 cards. I give you a hint. One of those cards is a kaiju. So figure out the other 2 cards necessary for the kaiju to help me OTK somebody and deal them 10,600 damage. Alright? Because I know how to do that combo. I know the 3 cards I need to deal 10,600 damage in a single shot, in a single turn. But I know y'all don't, because y'all not really good at the game to know that combo. I will have to go to my YouTube channel and try to figure it out. Try to find the combo. And you would eventually find it. But the point is like, y'all don't know what y'all should be knowing, because y'all too busy chasing dumb shit. Chasing shiny cards, but then complain like, oh, but it should be a lower rarity. It's like, there are lower rarity versions of a lot of the cards you want. And sometimes it takes a while. It takes like 3 to 6 months after a card you want to get reprinted. So wait until it gets reprinted. Like I waited until I got until the stuff. Like right now I'm looking at these reprint sets and looking for cards that, I'm interested in. And the funny thing is, there's some cards that now I can get them for cheap. I don't even want them anymore. Because it's like, yeah, I was only interested because they were good at the time. Like, oh, this is a really good card. It does a really cool effect. Like Zeus. Zeus was good a couple months ago. Now it's like, like it was good last year. Like it was a decent card last year. But I don't want that now. Because it's not that good now. I'm not wasting time trying to bring out Zeus. It was good back then when it was a good, card to add to my extra deck. But now it's like, yeah, I don't need Zeus. I got better cards now that I can play, so it's good that I wait for reprint. I can get the Zeus if I want, but I don't want. I got me evenly matched, but I don't play them, but I got them just in case I do decide to use them. But, impermanence. The funny thing is I own an Ash Blossom. Don't use it, I just have it in a sleeve, in a top loader. I'd probably sell it off someday. When people want to collect the card, the collector's market. But like I don't use it because I don't need it. I need cards that win me the game real fast. I need win cons. I need cards that win me the game. I don't need to put up multiple negates and try to win that way. It's like, no, I'd rather let my opponent go first, put up multiple negates, I go second, get rid of their negates, their monsters, and then just attack them for 9,000 directly. Like, I'd rather do that, which is what I always do, because I'm actually good at the game. I'm not wasting my valuable time playing shitty catch-up games, playing the whatever type of meta y'all trying to play, where y'all think y'all gotta play certain specific decks, certain specific cards for certain specific matchups, and y'all end up playing the same exact deck. Y'all do a whole bunch of mirror matches. And the funny thing is, y'all still end up losing because mirror match. Y'all doing the same dumb shit, the same dumb combos, so y'all gonna get the same outcomes. So it's all automatic. So then it boils down to luck of who wins. It's not about who has the better deck, the better strategy. Since y'all both weren't playing the same deck, it's more about luck. Who gets lucky to pull off the deck's combo? Who gets lucky that they drew the right card at the right time to win? So then y'all play this game with luck. I don't play with luck. I play with skill. I play with the intention of attacking you directly for 9,000 and winning the game that way. While y'all out here busy trying to negate things or trying to hand trap things and try to play counters to hand traps and all this dumb shit, when you could just focus on just winning the game like a real player, like somebody who's actually good at the game, and be so good at the game that you don't need to buy much of anything. Or if you do buy shit, you buy the cheap stuff, the commons. Like 90% of my decks are commons. Very few holos, just because there is no common version of that card. But whenever there is a common version of the card, I buy the common version, and then I just sell off the holos and get a couple, dollars for it, so I can buy more commons, right? Because I prefer the commons because they don't warp like the holos do. They don't scratch up and look ugly from being scratched up like the holos do. I'm not what you would call a rarity hoarder. Granted, I do like certain rarities. I like secret rares. I like platinum secret rares. They look really, really nice. I like the gold rares. They look cool. And if I'm going to collect certain cards, I will want them in those rarities and collect them and put them in a nice little binder and look at them as, piece of art. But other than that, I don't need shiny cards, especially not to play. I don't want to play with shiny cards. I want to play with commons. I'll collect shiny, but I'm not going to play shiny. A lot of y'all play shiny. Y'all trying to make your whole entire deck shiny, and it ain't even necessary. And that's, again, a y'all problem. That's y'all mindset. Y'all doing things because it makes y'all feel good instead of doing things that make you actually good. Y'all rather feel like a good person than to be a good person. You rather look like a nice person than to actually be a nice person, and the list goes on. You rather look like you're the best player in the game, but in reality you're not. I want to be the best player, which is why I am the best player in the game. Because I'm actually good at the game that I can just play anything. I can build an old-ass structure deck. I can build an old deck and still beat people. Because I'm actually good at the game. I understand how to win. And I'm not going to waste time not winning. Anyway, it's another video.